My wife said her boss was just a friend, so I stayed quiet, gathered proof for months, filed for divorce, and let HR destroy both their careers. People have always said I'm too calm, too patient, too logical for my own good. My college roommate used to get frustrated during exams because I'd sit there working through problems methodically while he panicked. My parents called me the negotiator because I never raised my voice during arguments. Even my wife, back when things were good, used to joke that I could probably defuse a bomb without breaking a sweat. "You're like a robot sometimes," she'd say, laughing. "Don't you ever just react?" I'd smile and tell her that reacting never solved anything. Thinking did. Turns out, she was right about the robot part. And that's exactly what destroyed her. We'd been married 6 years when things started shifting. Met in grad school, both ambitious, both driven. She went into commercial real estate sales, I went into operations management for a manufacturing company. Different worlds, but it worked. We had a nice house in the suburbs, decent savings, talked about kids eventually. Normal life. Good life. Then 8 months ago, she got promoted to regional sales director at Meridian Properties. Big deal. More responsibility, better commission structure, her own team. I was proud of her. That's when he showed up. Preston something. Her new department head. Came in from the corporate office to restructure regional operations or whatever corporate buzzword they were using. Mid-40s, divorced, one of those guys who wears expensive watches and talks about mentorship. At first, it was innocent. Or at least, that's what I told myself. Preston thinks I have real potential for the VP track, she'd say over dinner. Preston's teaching me how to navigate office politics. Preston says I'm wasting my talent on mid-level clients. Preston this. Preston that. I didn't say anything. Didn't accuse. Didn't get jealous like some insecure husband. I just listened. Observed. The late nights started around month 2. Big client presentation tomorrow, Preston wants us to run through the pitch deck one more time. Fair enough. Sales directors work late. Then came the weekend strategy sessions. Then the new wardrobe, sharper suits, more makeup for work, perfume I didn't recognize. One Saturday morning, she spent 40 minutes getting ready for a team brunch that was supposedly casual. I watched her change outfits 3 times. That's when my brain switched modes. I'm an operations guy. I solve problems by identifying patterns, analyzing data, finding inefficiencies. Marriage problems aren't that different from supply chain issues, you just need to look at the right metrics. So I started watching the metrics. Tuesdays and Thursdays became her consistent late nights. She'd text around 6 p.m., "Preston needs me to stay for a client call." She'd get home around 10, sometimes 11. Her phone habits changed. Used to leave it on the counter while she showered. Now it went everywhere with her. Bathroom, bedroom, even took it outside when she needed air. One night, I'm reading in bed and she's scrolling on her phone. She smiles, this little private smile, then immediately locks the screen and sets it face down. "Work stuff?" I ask, casual. "Yeah, just Preston sending me feedback on the quarterly report." At 11 p.m. On a Wednesday. Another night, she gets a call while we're watching TV. Checks the screen, stands up immediately. "I need to take this, it's about the Henderson account." She goes outside to the car. I watch through the window. 43 minutes. When she comes back in, I ask how the Henderson thing is going. "Oh, we worked it out. No big deal." She's smiling again. That same private smile. Most guys would have cracked by now. Demanded to see her phone, accused her of cheating, started a screaming match. But that's reactive. That's emotional. I'm not emotional. I'm methodical. So instead of confronting her, instead of turning into some paranoid mess, I made a decision. I was going to document everything. Every late night, every lie, every pattern. If this was what I thought it was, I wanted proof. Not suspicion. Not gut feelings. Proof. I started simple. Checked our joint credit card statements, nothing suspicious there, she was smart enough not to use our cards for whatever she was doing. Noted the dates and times of her late nights. Cross-referenced with her work calendar that synced to our shared family account. Client meetings that didn't appear on any calendar. Team dinners on nights when the rest of her team was posting about being home with their families. Then I remembered something. 2 years ago, we'd set up a family tablet for recipes and shared grocery lists. We'd both synced our personal accounts to it so we could access stuff from either device. She'd set up her personal email, her messaging apps, her photo backup, and we'd both forgotten about it. I went to the closet where we kept the tablet charging. Hadn't touched it in months. Powered it on. Waited for it to boot up. Opened her message app. And there it was. Everything. Every message. Every photo. Every deleted conversation automatically backed up to the cloud account that was still synced to this forgotten tablet. She had no idea. I sat there in the dim closet, tablet glowing in my hands, and started scrolling. The earliest messages were from 5 months ago. Harmless at first. Preston, great job on the Westfield presentation today. You're a natural. Her, thanks. I was so nervous lol. Preston, couldn't tell. You have real executive presence. Standard work stuff. Then a week later, Preston, grabbed coffee for you. No, you like the caramel macchiato. On your desk. Her, you're too sweet. Thank you. Preston, anything for my star performer. I kept scrolling. Watched the tone shift week by week. More familiar. More personal. Her, rough day. Client pulled out of the Oak Street deal. Preston, wanna grab a drink after work? We can decompress. Her, that would be amazing actually. 2 weeks after that. Preston, last night was exactly what I needed. You get me in a way most people don't. Her, same. It's nice to talk to someone who actually understands the pressure. I checked the timestamp. 11:53 p.m. on a Thursday. The Thursday she texted me saying she had a late strategy session. The messages got more frequent. Daily. Then multiple times a day. Preston, can't stop thinking about our conversation yesterday. Her, me neither. Feel like I can actually be myself around you. Preston, your husband's a lucky guy. Hope he knows that. Her, sometimes I wonder if he really sees me anymore. We're just comfortable. I read that line 3 times. We're just comfortable. 6 years of marriage reduced to comfortable. I kept going. The messages turned flirtier. Pet names started appearing. He called her Sunshine. She called him P. Then came the explicit stuff. Preston, thinking about you in that blue dress from the conference. Her, stop, you're going to get me in trouble. Preston, worth it. You looked incredible. Her, you're not so bad yourself smile. I took screenshots. Saved them to an encrypted cloud folder with timestamps and dates. Every conversation, every photo she'd sent him, every I miss you text sent while I was sitting 10 feet away from her. But messages weren't enough. I needed more. I pulled up our credit card statements again. Went through them line by line, matching dates from the messages to charges. Found a pattern immediately. Every Tuesday and Thursday, her late night days, there were charges from the same wine bar downtown. $30, $40 each time. Never on our joint card. But her personal card statement was on the family financial app we used for budgeting. She'd forgotten about that too. I cross-referenced the wine bar charges with her messages. Perfect alignment. Preston, same place as last week? 7:30? Her, I'll be there. Can't wait. Credit card charge, Vino and Vine, 8:43 p.m., $43.50. She got home that night at 10:30. Told me she'd grab dinner alone after a long client meeting. I documented everything. Built a spreadsheet. Date, time, location, charge amount, corresponding message, her excuse to me. 3 months of data. No gaps. No inconsistencies. Then I found the hotels. Her company used corporate credit cards for business travel. But I remembered her mentioning that regional directors could also use them for client entertainment expenses within certain limits. I couldn't access her corporate card directly, but she'd forwarded a few expense reports to her personal email for record keeping. The tablet had those emails. I opened one from 2 months ago. Line item, client dinner and accommodation, Riverside Hotel. Checked her messages from that date. Preston, room 412. I'll have wine waiting. Her, be there in 20. Told him I'm staying late for the quarterly review. The quarterly review she'd told me about. The one that ran until midnight, so she just crashed at the office. She'd stayed at a hotel. With him. On the company's dime. I found 4 more instances. 4 separate hotels over 3 months. Every single one matched up with a night she'd told me she was working late or too tired to drive home safely. My hands weren't shaking. My heart wasn't racing. I just kept clicking, saving, documenting. I found the parking garage footage next. Her office building had security cameras everywhere, standard for commercial real estate properties. I remembered because we'd toured the building when she first got hired, and she'd joked about Big Brother watching. I also remembered that an old college buddy, Felix, worked in property management for a firm that handled several buildings downtown. Not her building, but the industry's small. People know people. I called him the next day. Casual conversation. Asked how security systems worked in those corporate buildings. Mentioned I was looking into upgrading our home system. "Oh man, those things record everything," he said. "Parking garages especially. They keep footage for 90 days usually, insurance requirements." 90 days? That's a lot of storage. "Yeah, but nobody looks at it unless there's an incident. Just sits there." I thanked him and hung up. 2 days later, I'd accidentally run into the building security supervisor during lunch. Small talk. Mentioned I was thinking about proposing to my girlfriend at her office building, romantic gesture, wanted to know if the parking garage cameras would catch the moment for a surprise video. He laughed, said the garage cameras covered every floor, every angle. Timestamped. Crystal clear. I had what I needed. Between the messages, the hotel receipts, the credit card charges, and the knowledge that video evidence existed, I had a complete picture. 3 months of systematic documentation. Hundreds of messages. Dozens of receipts. Timestamps proving pattern and intent. I packed it all into a folder. Printed key messages. Organized everything by date. Made it airtight. Then I called a lawyer. His name was Hugh Brennan. Divorce specialist. Came recommended by a coworker who'd gone through a nasty split and came out ahead. We met at his office on a Saturday morning. I brought the folder. He spent 40 minutes reviewing everything. Didn't say a word. Just read, occasionally making notes, cross-referencing dates. Finally, he looked up at me. "This is nuclear," he said. "Use it carefully." Hugh leaned back in his chair, fingers steepled. "Let me be clear about what you have here. This isn't just grounds for divorce. This is ammunition." "I know." "Do you?" "Because most guys in your position come in here emotional. Crying, angry, wanting to burn everything down. You're sitting there like we're discussing tax strategy. Would you prefer I cry?" He smiled slightly. "No. I prefer this. Makes my job easier." He tapped the folder. "With evidence this comprehensive, we can file no fault and be done in 60 days. Clean split, minimal drama. That's not what I want." "Figured as much. What are you thinking?" I pulled out my phone, opened a screenshot of my wife's employee handbook. I downloaded it from her company's internal portal weeks ago. Another thing she'd forgotten was accessible through her synced work email. Meridian Properties has strict fraternization policies. Page 37. Relationships between managers and direct reports are prohibited. Violating it is grounds for immediate termination. Hugh read the passage I'd highlighted. His eyebrows went up. "You want to report them to HR?" "I want to report them the same day she's served divorce papers." He was quiet for a moment. Then he nodded slowly. "Maximum impact. She wakes up married, goes to work normal, and by lunch she's divorced and unemployed. Her boss too. You understand this scorches the earth. There's no coming back from this, no reconciliation." "I don't want reconciliation. I want consequences." Hugh studied me for a long moment. "All right. Here's what we do first. Before we file anything, before we make any moves, we protect your assets." Over the next hour, he walked me through the strategy. First priority, money. We had about $140,000 in joint savings. Under state law, I was entitled to half in the divorce. But if I moved it now, before filing, it could look like I was hiding assets. "Move exactly half," Hugh said. "Open a new individual account at a different bank. Transfer $70,000. That's your legal share. Keep meticulous records. Date, time, amount. If questioned, you were protecting your portion during separation. What about the rest? Leave it. Shows good faith. We're not trying to screw her financially, we're just making sure she can't drain everything out of spite when she gets served." I did it that afternoon. Opened an account at a credit union across town. Transferred exactly $70,000. Kept the receipt. Next, credit cards. We had 2 joint cards. Hugh advised closing them to prevent her from racking up charges I'd be liable for. "Call the companies, explain you're separating, request the accounts be frozen. They'll require both signatures to close them fully, but freezing prevents new charges." Done. Beneficiaries on my life insurance and retirement accounts? Changed to my parents. Utilities, mortgage, car insurance, everything was in my name from before we married. I made sure nothing could be touched without my signature. Took me a week to button everything up. The whole time, She had no idea. She'd come home complaining about office politics, tell me about difficult clients, kiss me goodbye in the mornings. One night she even initiated lovemaking. I went through the motions, mechanical as always. Afterwards, she fell asleep with her head on my chest while I stared at the ceiling, mentally reviewing my checklist. Her confidence made her sloppy. While she thought everything was normal, I was dismantling our life piece by piece. The next phase was building the HR package. I spent evenings in my home office catching up on work reports. Really, I was compiling evidence into a formal complaint. Hugh had advised me to make it look professional. Not vindictive. Just factual. I created a timeline document. Date-by-date breakdown of the relationship between my wife and Preston. Started with the first flirty message, tracked the escalation, noted every hotel stay. For each hotel charge, I attached the corresponding expense report showing it was filed as client entertainment. That was the destroying shot, proof they'd used company resources for personal affairs. Potential fraud. I printed the most damning message threads. Not all of them, that would be over destroy. Just 10 carefully selected exchanges that showed clear policy violations. The security footage was trickier. I couldn't just ask for it directly. But I knew someone who could. Felix, my property management friend, owed me a favor. I'd helped him with a supply chain issue at his company a year ago, saved him about 30 grand. I called him, kept it vague. Said I needed footage from a parking garage for a personal legal matter, couldn't go into details, but it was important. Which building? I gave him the address of Meridian Properties. That's not one of ours, but I know the security director. Good guy. Let me see what I can do. 3 days later, I had USB drive with 3 separate clips. All from the past 90 days. All showing Preston's black Lexus pulling up to the lower garage level. My wife getting in. The car leaving. Returning 2 hours later. Her getting out, adjusting her clothes, checking her reflection in the car window. 3 instances. 3 different dates. All timestamped. I added the footage to the package. The final document was 23 pages. Executive summary. Timeline. Evidence exhibits. Company policy citations. Everything organized, indexed, professional. Hugh reviewed it. This is better than most internal investigations I've seen. HR will have no choice but to act. How fast? If they're smart? Same day. This creates massive liability for the company, manager sleeping with subordinate, using corporate funds, all documented. They'll want him gone immediately. And her? They'll put her on leave pending investigation, but with evidence this clear? She's done. Probably by end of week. I felt nothing. No satisfaction. No anger. Just clinical certainty. When do we execute? Hugh asked. I looked at my calendar. It was Thursday. Next Monday. 8 a.m. That's 4 days. You sure you can hold it together that long? I've been holding it together for 3 months. 4 more days was nothing. I'm sure. That weekend was surreal. We went to brunch with friends Saturday. She laughed and told stories about work, mentioned how Preston really values her input on the regional expansion. I smiled and nodded. Sunday night, she fell asleep early. I stayed up late, reviewing the plan one final time. Divorce papers, finalized, ready for process server. HR complaint, formatted, ready to email. Process server, scheduled to meet her at office lobby, 8 a.m. Email to HR and company legal, draft saved, scheduled to send at 8:03 a.m. Everything synchronized. Everything precise. I set my alarm for 6 a.m. and went to bed. Monday morning, I woke up calm. She was in the shower, getting ready for work. I could hear her singing, something she did when she was in a good mood. I made coffee. Sat at the kitchen table. Checked my phone one last time. Process server confirmed, ready to go. Email scheduled, ready to send. She came downstairs in a sharp navy suit, makeup perfect. Big presentation today. Preston's going to be there, so I need to bring my A game. You'll do great, I said. She kissed me on the cheek, grabbed her coffee, headed for the door. See you tonight, she called out. I watched her car pull out of the driveway. Checked my watch, 7:32 a.m. In 28 minutes, her entire world was going to detonate. I didn't go to work that morning. Called in sick. Wasn't actually sick, but I wanted to be available in case you needed anything. Mostly, I just wanted to watch it unfold in real time. 8 a.m. My phone buzzed. Text from the process server, target acquired. Papers delivered. I imagined the scene. My wife walking into her office building, coffee in hand, mentally preparing for her big presentation. Process server approaching in the lobby. Are you Mrs. Last name? Confusion. Then the envelope. Then realization. 8:03 a.m. I clicked send on the scheduled email. Watched it move from drafts to sent. Subject line, policy violation report, manager/direct report relationship, evidence attached. Recipients, Meridian Properties HR Director, Legal Department, Regional VP. 23 pages of career-ending documentation. I poured myself more coffee and waited. 8:14 a.m. My phone started ringing. Her number. I let it go to voicemail. Rang again. Voicemail. Again. I blocked her number. 8:39 a.m. Hugh texted. HR responded. They're moving fast. Pulled the manager into emergency meeting. I texted back, good. I spent the next hour working from home on actual work projects. Answered emails. Reviewed production schedules. Kept my mind occupied. Around 10:15, my phone rang from an unknown number. I answered. You mother F word. Her voice. Shaking with rage. What did you do? I filed for divorce. You ambushed me at my office. In front of everyone. Where would you have preferred? Our house where you've been lying to my face for 5 months? Silence. Then, we can fix this. We can talk. You don't have to. There's nothing to fix. It's done. You went to my company. You reported Preston? Are you insane? You violated company policy. Multiple times. Used corporate resources for personal affairs. I simply provided documentation. This will ruin me. You ruined yourself. I just made sure there were consequences. She started crying. Please. Please, can we just talk? Face to face? I can explain. I hung up. Blocked that number too. 11:30 a.m. Hugh called. Company's lawyer just contacted me. They want to confirm the evidence is legitimate. I told them every timestamp, every receipt, every message is verified. They're not happy. With us? With your wife and her boss. They're looking at potential liability if this gets out. Manager abusing position of authority, possible misuse of corporate funds. They're in damage control mode. What happens to Preston? He's suspended as of an hour ago. Pending investigation, but with your evidence package, investigation's basically a formality. And her? Being interviewed by HR now. She tried calling me 3 times. I haven't answered. Don't. Wasn't planning on it. The rest of Monday crawled by. I worked. Ate lunch. Took a walk. Checked my phone occasionally. She tried calling from 6 different numbers. I blocked them all. By evening, Hugh sent an update. Preston escorted out of building at 4 p.m. Personal items in a box. Security watched him leave. Your wife put on administrative leave pending investigation. Tuesday was quieter. She'd apparently figured out I wasn't going to answer. The call stopped. Hugh told me her lawyer, she'd hired someone by then, requested all evidence we plan to use in divorce proceedings. Standard discovery. We'll provide what's required by law, Hugh said. But the HR stuff? That's separate. Already out of our hands. Wednesday morning, Hugh called with news. Preston's done. Terminated for cause as of 9 a.m. today. Violation of fraternization policy, misuse of company resources, creating liability exposure. No severance package. That was fast. Your evidence was airtight. Company had no choice. They're trying to limit legal exposure. What about his career? In commercial real estate? Small industry. Word's already spreading. He's toxic now. Nobody will touch him. I felt nothing. Just clinical satisfaction that the plan was working exactly as designed. Wednesday afternoon, Preston's wife filed for divorce. Hugh's paralegal had connections at the courthouse and gave us a heads up. She saw the evidence, Hugh explained. Your wife wasn't his first affair. Just the one that finally got documented. Thursday and Friday were quiet. My wife stayed at her sister's place across town. Sent a few emails through her lawyer asking for temporary support and access to joint funds. Hugh responded that she had access to the $70,000 remaining in the joint account and that temporary support wasn't warranted since we'd both been employed until recently. Her lawyer didn't push back. Friday afternoon, 3:33 p.m. Hugh called. Your wife's been called into HR. Final meeting. 4 o'clock. Today? Right now, actually. My contact at Meridian just gave me the heads up. I checked my watch. 3:49 p.m. In 11 minutes, she was about to learn her fate. 4:17 p.m. Hugh texted, "It's done. She's been terminated." I stared at the message. Waited for some kind of feeling. Satisfaction, guilt, anything. Nothing came. Details? I texted back. Policy violations and misuse of company resources. Escorted out by security with her belongings. No severance. No references. I set my phone down and went back to the production report I'd been reviewing. By Monday morning, the industry knew, commercial real estate is a small world. Deals get made over drinks, gossip travels at the speed of group texts. A regional director getting fired alongside her department head for an affair? That's prime material. Hugh's contact told us the office had been buzzing all weekend. Someone leaked details to a real estate industry blog. No names published, but enough specifics that anyone in the local market could connect the dots. My wife's professional reputation was obliterated. She tried everything that first weekend. Showed up at our mutual friends' houses. Called my parents. Sent emails to my work address begging me to just listen. Hugh intercepted everything. Sent formal cease and desist letters. All communication had to go through legal counsel. She tried a different approach. Had her sister call me, pleading her case. She made a mistake. She knows that. But destroying her career? That's cruel. I didn't destroy her career, I told her sister. She violated company policy. The company enforced their rules. I just provided documentation. You could have just divorced her quietly. She could have just not slept with her boss. We all make choices. Her sister hung up. Preston's life was imploding too. His wife, who I'd never met, had apparently suspected something for a while. The evidence package I'd given HR got forwarded to their legal department, which meant it became discoverable in his wife's divorce filing. She took everything. House, cars, retirement accounts. He'd violated their prenup by committing adultery. No wiggle room. His career was finished. Hugh heard through the grapevine that he'd applied to 3 competing firms in the region. All rejected him within days. Too much liability, one hiring manager apparently said. He ended up taking a job in another state. Some mid-level position making half what he used to. Starting over at 37. My wife blamed me for all of it. Week 2, she sent an email that made it through to my personal account before I could update the filters. "You're a vindictive, heartless B-word. What we did was wrong, but what you did was evil. You didn't just leave me, you destroyed everything. My job, my reputation, Preston's entire life. For what? Your ego? You couldn't handle that I found someone who actually understood me?" I forwarded it to Hugh without responding. He replied, "Good. Let her keep talking. Makes our case easier." The divorce proceedings were almost boring in their efficiency. She had no leverage. No grounds to fight. The evidence was overwhelming, her lawyer knew it, and every attempt to negotiate was met with Hugh's calm, professional shutdown. Asset split, standard state law division. I kept the house, my name on the deed, my down payment, my mortgage. She got her car and personal belongings. Alimony, she requested it. Hugh pointed out we'd been married under 7 years, both had been employed until she got herself fired, and state law didn't favor spousal support in cases involving adultery. Her request was denied. The whole process took 8 weeks. Our mutual friends tried to both sides it at first. Couple of them called asking me to maybe ease up a little. I sent them 3 screenshots from the evidence file. The messages where she called me boring. Where she laughed about me being too logical to notice anything. Where she told Preston that leaving me would be complicated but worth it. Nobody questioned me after that. Even her own parents distanced themselves. Her mother called once, crying, asking how it came to this. "Your daughter made choices," I said. "I made sure those choices had consequences. That's all." By mid-November, the divorce was finalized. Papers signed, stamped, legally binding. Marriage dissolved. I moved on with my life. New project at work, expansion into Southeast distribution. Kept me busy. Started going to the gym again. Lost the 15 pounds I'd gained during the marriage. Felt good. Reconnected with old friends I'd lost touch with. Went to a college buddy's wedding in December. Met someone there, actually. Nothing serious yet, but we'd been texting. My wife, from what I heard, was struggling. Couldn't find work in commercial real estate. Industry blacklist was real. Tried pivoting to residential, but her reputation followed her. Last I heard, she was doing administrative work at some insurance company. Quarter of what she used to make. I didn't feel bad. January turned into February. I stopped thinking about her entirely. Until one evening in late February. I was home watching a game, beer in hand, actually relaxed for the first time in months. Doorbell rang. I wasn't expecting anyone. Checked my phone, no texts, no missed calls. Walked to the door. Looked through the peephole. My stomach dropped. It was her, standing on my porch, looking wrecked. Hair pulled back messily. Dark circles under her eyes. 20 pounds lighter. Wearing an old jacket I recognized from years ago. She looked directly at the peephole like she knew I was there. "Please," she said, voice cracking. "We need to talk. You owe me that much." I stood there for a long moment, hand on the doorknob, watching her through the peephole. Part of me wanted to leave her standing there. Let her knock until she gave up. She didn't deserve my time. But another part, the methodical part, wanted this finished. Properly finished. I opened the door. She looked worse up close. The weight loss made her face gaunt. Her eyes were red-rimmed, like she'd been crying for days. The confident, polished woman who used to spend an hour getting ready for work was gone. "Thank you," she whispered. "Thank you for. Come in. Say what you need to say. Then leave." She stepped inside. Looked around the living room like she was seeing it for the first time. I'd changed things since she left. New furniture. Repainted. Erased her presence entirely. "Can we sit?" "No. You have 10 minutes. She flinched. Wrapped her arms around herself. "I made a terrible mistake. I know that now. What happened with Preston? It was wrong. I was wrong." I said nothing. "But what you did," her voice cracked. "You destroyed everything. My career, my reputation, Preston's entire life. You didn't just leave me. You scorched the earth. You're here to blame me for consequences you earned? I'm here to ask why." The tears started. "Why didn't you just talk to me? Why didn't you give me a chance to fix things? Couples therapy, counseling, anything. We could have worked through this. You had 8 months to talk to me. I didn't know how. You had 8 months. You chose to spend them lying to my face while sleeping with your boss. Every late night. Every weekend project. Every time you smiled at your phone and turned it away from me. Those were all chances to talk. You chose differently." She was crying openly now. "It wasn't supposed to go that far. It started as just. He made me feel seen. Like I mattered. Like I was more than just my wife? More than just comfortable." She nearly shouted it. "You're so calm about everything. So logical. I needed passion. I needed someone who actually what? Lied to you the same way you lied to me? Preston's married. Was married. You think you were special to him?" Her face crumpled. "You think he was going to leave his wife for you? Start over with the woman who got him fired? You were convenient. That's all. You don't know that. I know he hasn't called you once since this started. I know he took a job in another state and didn't tell you. I know exactly what you were to him because I have all the messages, remember?" She wiped her eyes, tried to compose herself. Switched tactics. "Fine. I was stupid. I was selfish. I ruined everything. But did you have to report us to HR? Did you have to destroy my career? You could have just divorced me. You violated company policy. You used corporate resources for your affair. I simply documented it. You wanted revenge. I wanted consequences. There's a difference." "Consequences?" She laughed bitterly. "I lost my job. My reputation. I can't get hired anywhere in this industry. I'm living with my sister, working for $12 an hour doing data entry. Is that proportional to you? Does that feel fair? You made choices knowing the risks. You knew the company policy. You knew what would happen if you got caught. You just didn't think you'd get caught." She stared at me. "You're not the person I married. You're cold. You're heartless." I walked to my desk. Pulled out an envelope. Walked back and handed it to her. "What is this?" "Divorce is finalized. Those are your copies. Everything's done." She opened it. Saw the stamp. The signatures. The legal seal marking the end of our marriage. Her hands started shaking. 6 years, she whispered. 6 years together and this is how it ends? With you handing me papers like I'm nothing? You made me nothing first. I just made sure you understood what that felt like." She looked up at me, tears streaming down her face. "I loved you. I really did. I made a mistake. One mistake. 8 months of mistakes. Hundreds of lies. Multiple hotels. Company fraud. That's not one mistake. That's a pattern. Please. She was begging now. Please, isn't there anything? You told me he was just a friend, I said quietly. Just a mentor. Just someone who understood your career. She went very still. Now he's the reason you lost everything. The words hung in the air between us. I watched her face cycle through emotions. Denial. Anger. Understanding. Finally, devastation. The full weight of her choices landed. Every lie. Every risk she took thinking she was safe. Every moment of arrogance thinking I was too calm, too logical, too trusting to ever act. She crumpled. Actually fell to her knees on my floor, sobbing. I felt nothing. You need to leave now. She didn't move. Just knelt there crying. I'm serious. Get up and leave, or I'm calling the police for trespassing. That got through. She slowly stood, clutching the divorce papers, mascara running down her face. I walked to the door and opened it. She stopped in the doorway. Looked back at me one last time. I hope you're happy. I'm free. That's better. She left. I closed the door. Locked it. Stood there listening to her car start and pull away. Then I went back to the game. 6 months later, I'm doing fine. Got promoted at work. The Southeast expansion project was a success. Management noticed. Started dating someone I met through friends. She's a pediatric nurse. Honest. Direct. No games. We're taking it slow, but it feels right. Bought new furniture for the bedroom. Donated everything that reminded me of the marriage. Fresh start. My ex-wife? Last I heard, she's still struggling. Still can't break back into commercial real estate. Still living with her sister. Dating someone she met online, apparently it's not going well. I don't keep tabs on her. Mutual friends mention things occasionally. I don't ask for details. Preston moved to another state. Took a job making half what he used to. His ex-wife got remarried. Someone on Reddit asked me once if I felt bad about how hard they fell. I thought about it for a while before responding. She made her choices knowing the risks. I just made sure the consequences were proportional. People called me cold for that. Said I was heartless. Said I could have handled it differently. Maybe they're right. But I'm not losing sleep over it. My ex-wife used to say I was too calm. Too logical. Too patient. Turns out, that's exactly what let me think clearly when it mattered. That's what let me document everything. That's what let me execute a plan without getting emotional and sloppy. She was right about me being calm. She just never considered what that meant when she crossed me. I don't regret anything. Not the surveillance. Not the evidence gathering. Not the HR report. Not the divorce. Every action I took was measured, legal, and proportional to what she did. She destroyed our marriage with 8 months of lies. I just made sure she didn't walk away unscathed. That's not revenge. That's consequences. And I sleep fine at night. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you really like our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.